Hazel was a very different sort of a case that I had come across. I had seen a lot of stray dogs on the road, and I usually tend to feed the strays whenever I can. One day I was getting back from a recording, and I was on my bike, and I was passing by this area, and next to Santa Cruz station, I saw this small puppy, like really, really tiny puppy, tied to a pole near a hutment area. So I just decided to stop and see what sort of a dog she was. And she immediately saw me, and as hyper as she is, she is. So she came and she jumped on me and started licking my face and all. At that time, I didn't think I was gonna adopt a dog at that time, but the thought did cross my mind. I've been thinking about getting a dog, adopting a dog, but I didn't know when that would happen. So I saw this nut over here, just tied to this pole, and my immediate reaction was maybe I should get her some food. But she was already fat, her stomach was bloated and all. So I think I was pretty sure she didn't need food, is what she didn't need. She needed love and affection, and she was super hypo, and she was craving that from every person passing by, which she still does. So I decided to stop. I played with her for a little bit, and then I waited for 5 minutes to see if there is any owner. So there was a person who was there, and I just asked him ki, is this your dog? So he said, yeah, someone came and left this dog here, but this dog is gonna die here anyway, so why don't you just take it? That was the first reaction that he had. So my reaction was, yeah, sure, why not? I didn't think twice, and I called a friend of mine, and so he said, so I asked him if it was okay I could pick her up the next day, and he said it's fine, I can pick her up the next day, she's going to be there only. I didn't even know if she was a male or female at that time because she was so tiny, and it was in the evening. So I called a friend. I said, you know what, can you help me get a dog the next day? And he was like, yeah, definitely. So we sat on my bike the next day and we went. I had no clue what I was in for. I had a dog in the past, but I had no idea what sort of animal she would be turn out to be. But yeah, so that's when we picked her up, and just before we could pick her up, that man who was there, he fed her, gave her a bowl of water, and she was so thirsty, she just drank the entire bowl. So I put her on the bike. My friend was holding her behind, and we literally went 100 meters, and then she puked all over us because all that water came out. And then we got home, and I switched on the AC. I remember I first thing, she was full of fleas and ticks, so I gave her a bath, and I put her on, I got her a small crate, very small crate, which she was fitting in. Those big basket dabbas which come in, that one. She was fitting in that. So she was super tiny. She had a bath. I put on the AC, I put on the crate, and she just passed out. Okay. Then another friend of mine came over that same evening, and then we were deciding about what to call her, what her name would be. Her street name was Tuffy.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Her street name was Tuffy. So we didn't know what to name her, and so my friend was like, why don't we name her Hazel? Basically because of her eyes. So we decided on the name Hazel, and that's how my adoption journey has been so far.
Yeah, and then the pandemic hit, and
right. So this happened on the 6th of March. I got on the 6th of March, and at that time there was no pandemic, right, as such. So we were basically shuffling between work, and nobody was housebound. So I kept shuffling from my house to my parents' house, dropping her off, going to work, coming back, picking her up, coming back. So and my mom was super and my mom was super cool about having her. My mom loves dogs. Dogs, yeah, doggy, Tuffy. Okay. Then so there was no pandemic, and I felt like a little bit of a disconnect with her at the start. But then as soon as the pandemic happened, we were just stuck to each other, and she was very well trained, and now I don't know what happened to her. She's become a little jungly.
No, she's not.
Yeah, so that was her adoption journey so far. Life before Hazel was just work. And I had no sort of like, a routine in place because I would work late hours, sleep at like 4 or 5 in the morning, wake up at 12, just do my own thing, pass my time, watch shows. And it was not a very stable, sort of a healthy lifestyle that I was leading. But I was exhausted because there was no routine in place. But the minute I think Hazel walked into my life, everything had to happen as per her timing, right? So I got into a routine. So technically, she put me on a routine.
We also became more responsible when we got her because we realized it's more like a baby, a life that we're nurturing her, and she literally takes up all our love. And there's nothing more that we'd want to come home to than Hazel.
Yeah, and she keeps us on our toes the whole day because she's so energetic. Yeah.
Also, the kind of love that she gets, like it can be like domestic love here, it can be international love, like right now. Like it's just like adopt, don't shop, and we got so lucky with the entire. Probably she's done something right in life, or we've done something right to get each other. But yeah, she's literally our everything. So I wanted a dog for the past 23 years. Okay, and I never had one until Hazel was like there. Like she's our dog now.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were like puppies in my building which I was very attached to. But something to call mine? No. So she's literally my first. Yeah, she's family. She's literally my first baby. So yeah, I mean, like life before Hazel was like, go to college, come back, just chill, go out, party. Like on a Friday night, go out, dress up. So now my Friday night is like, Hazel, let's Netflix and chill. Okay. So, it's literally like, no, I can't. I have plans with my dog. That kind of a
that
human.
Excuse.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can every plan, like, genuinely, like, every plan that I have, and if she's alone and he's not at home, and I'm like, it doesn't matter, I genuinely like being around her. And she hates to be cuddled, and I love cuddling. So, she doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it. She hates it.
She hates being cuddled.
She's okay. She's very neutral towards them. She can coexist with the dogs. For her, it's like if there are friendly dogs, extremely friendly dogs, she keeps away from them. But dogs which are very chill and to themselves, she's okay. She loves indie dogs. Loves indie dogs.
Yeah.
Hates golden retrievers and labs and thoroughbreds. Yeah.
Yeah. So even after Dean got her, Dean's best friend, so even she adopted another dog as well.
An indie.
So it's like everyone just wanted to adopt a dog. I realized after we got Hazel, and I was like, okay, this is so cool.
I feel like a lot of people during the pandemic adopted dogs. But a lot of them, having said that, a lot of them also abandoned those dogs on the road. So that was really sad. So yeah, I think I was talking about our Goa trip, right? So we were not too sure. Like she's very car friendly, so she loves sitting in the car. I've also trained her to sit on the Activa. So she stands in front and she's okay. She just looks out. So as a puppy, I think I instilled that sort of training in her where we would travel a lot. Even like if it was in a rickshaw, bike, car, Ubers, Kali Pili cabs, anything, we would always travel. So she adjusted really quickly to traveling. When we went to Goa, it was a great experience for her because we've never done a long drive.
We did Pune.
We've done Pune 3-4 hours. But she adjusted, that was okay. She didn't sleep through all of it. But during the Goa drive, it really hit her because the entire journey she did not sleep or sit or lie down. She was just standing and she was just looking out the window because she didn't want to miss. She has FOMO, major FOMO. So she didn't want to miss out on anything. And she realized that the hard way, because the next few days she was out. Like she couldn't enjoy Goa properly. Having said that, she realized from a mistake, and on the way back she slept the entire way. So she didn't even want to look out back then. But I think taking a dog or an indie dog on a road trip is not that difficult. It's how comfortable you make the dog feel in that environment, and that's what we worked on initially. I got her a hammock for the back seat, so the entire back seat is hers. She would sleep on it. We put a crate, we put a bed, so she's very comfortable. You know, she feels like she's in her own.
So also keeping familiar things around her from home makes her feel like, you know, she's with people she knows. It's her home. It's still around, you know, her place. So also keeping like her toys, and most importantly, you know, getting a seatbelt, which is very essential. And it just, I mean, you can roll the windows down and she can still look out, but she's safe. So while we were on our road trip, a lot of people have messaged on her profile saying, you know, please be careful. She's gonna fall off. And I'm like, no, there's a seatbelt. You know, it's there. She's fine.